Well, it's no secret that today's dating world is more complicated than ever, and many people would say that chivalry is actually dead. A TV show on AT&T's Audience Network takes a unique approach to make this commentary, and joining us to talk about it is one of the actors of Cassandra French's finishing school, Calum Worthy. Good morning, Calum.
What's up, Alex? How's it going?
Pretty good, man. It's all going pretty well here. It's nice to have you on, and we're going to talk about this show, which is actually pretty unorthodox, and I kind of hinted at some of the ways that it is. Can you sort of dive into it a little bit more?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, as you said, dating in 2017 is very complicated, and this show tackles it in a very interesting way. The show centers on a character named Cassandra French, who has gone through a slew of bad relationships, and a lot of guys have treated her very poorly. She ends up having a rebound with a guy named Owen, this guy, and Owen makes a huge mistake. He ends up live streaming them during a personal encounter, and he has to face the consequences because she ends up tying him up and putting him in her basement and basically teaches him how to become a better man.
Well, that's not something you see in everyday TV shows. That's definitely a little bit different. So tell us a little bit more about Owen. What makes him complex, and was it hard to play him?
It was, I mean, it's always challenging with every role you take on. It's always a new challenge. The one challenging thing with this show is I was chained up most of the time. So between takes, I couldn't just leave and go to the bathroom or grab a coffee. I had to sit there. The cast was very sweet. They used to bring me snacks because sometimes I'd be chained up for a few hours at a time. But it was, Owen's a very complicated guy because, you know, he makes this huge mistake, and you kind of question why he would ever do something like that until you learn more about him. And throughout the show, you really get a sense of who Owen is and why he has some perspectives on dating and women specifically. Definitely.
Well, people may know you from Disney Channel's Austin and Ally, and, you know, they may have very fond memories of you. And, you know, it's a very clean and friendly show. And what's it like to go from something that's sort of safer to something that's a little bit more adult-oriented?
It's fun. It's very fun. I mean, I definitely didn't try to make a leap like that. I didn't intentionally think like, oh, I want to go do something dark. I just wanted to make sure that I could be a reliable source for my audience of really good quality storytelling. And that's why I picked this show, because I just thought the story was so great, the writing is fantastic, and I think people are really going to enjoy it.
Well, that's excellent.
It was definitely interesting cursing though on set. It's a change.
I'm sure it was, and you know, it's interesting. It's a good thing to be a dynamic actor. And so, is there a larger commentary that you think this show is making that people are really going to take away from it?
It definitely raises a lot of questions. And I think if both men and women watch it, they'll definitely have a lot of conversations after each episode. We don't really, you know, we don't preach on the show, but we do ask the audience to really look inside and try to figure out what they think about certain things when it comes to dating.
Definitely. So tell us what it was like to work with your co-stars, Jessica and Brooke.
They are so talented. Like, I know that everyone says, like, oh, no, my co-stars are so great. These girls are so fantastic. Everyone on the show was, and these girls were no exception. They really rocked it. We had a very rigorous shooting schedule because a lot of the scenes had to be shot in a thing we call block shooting, where you shoot out an entire, you know, location at once. So while you film the series in order, you film the series in order in that location. So all of my stuff was filmed at the exact same time. And they had a lot of stuff to do, and they rocked it.
Wow. Well, it certainly takes some grit and some determination to be an actor, especially the way you guys shot that. So Calum, you know, you got done with season 1 of this show. What's next for you?
Hopefully it's season 2 of this show. There's a lot more stories to tell. Hopefully season 3 and 4 as well. I hope to work on the show for a long time.
Well, that's always the ideal situation. And Calum, it was a pleasure to speak with you. Tons of people here at the station had a really good reaction when I told them I'd be talking to you. So thanks for taking the time and joining us today.
Well, thank you so much. And tell everyone at your station I say hello.
Absolutely. And you can catch the season finale of Cassandra French's Finishing School tomorrow night on AT&T's Audience Network. And then make sure to binge watch all the episodes on fullscreen.com starting April 10th.